Well, good morning. Granny Gear here for Old Guy on a Bike. I am out with Buddy Dennis. Say hi, Buddy Dennis. That's kind of backlit there. Hopefully you can see his lovely face. We are out on kind of a local gravel bike ride, enjoying a little bit of what Southern California does even in November, which means you can ride with shorts on, and that ain't bad. Today I'm going to be reflecting on something I've thought about for a while, and that is, if you're coming to a gravel bike for the first time, is it better to come from mountain biking or from road riding? What do you guys think? And that is what I'll be pontificating on as we do this 10-mile climb on this 30-mile gravel bike loop. All right, you guys, we'll talk about that as we go and when I catch my breath. All right, here we go. Start pedaling. All right, first little bit of that climb is steeper than most of it, and it kind of hurts a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna eat this elephant one bite at a time. So this is what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about this for a while. Gravel riding is kind of, well, firstly, it's a very wide spectrum, isn't it? Because one person's gravel is not another one. But it's a fairly new thing, so people are coming to it probably from either mountain biking or road riding. Most of the time. You could be brand new, it's your first bike, but most of the time you've probably already been a cyclist and you think, I wonder if I'd like to have a gravel bike. So I was thinking, who has the advantage here? Is it the mountain biker coming in, or is it the road rider coming in? So I'm gonna channel my inner Tevye, the milkman, and if you know what I'm talking about, put that in the comments. I bet a lot of you do who I'm talking about, because for every coin I flip in my hand, well, it's got two sides, doesn't it? So let's start with the technical aspects of gravel riding. That can vary widely, but here's the thing. You're basically taking a road bike with fat tires into the dirt with all that entails. It could be sandy, rocky, ruddy, gravelly, loose, etc., etc. Something that is kind of unique experience to gravel riding. Now, if you're a mountain biker, you're already used to being in the dirt and dealing with loose conditions and rocky conditions, having your bike tires slide a little bit, the bumps, etc. So for you coming into gravel bike riding, you kind of have a built-in advantage. But on the other hand, you might find that riding a gravel bike is not what you're expecting in an off-road experience. Because if you're used to riding a mountain bike with a really big tire and suspension and big disc brakes and all that, and all of a sudden you get on which basically a road bike with privileges, well, you may find out that the technical aspects of that are not to your liking. So there is that. Now, if you're a road rider, you could come into gravel bike riding and find it somewhat terrifying because, frankly, it's challenging. And you're on a road bike on the road, your tires don't slide. You better hope they don't slide. You don't have to worry about a rut or a steep climb. You don't have to worry about your weight distribution or shifting under load on a steep hill and all those types of things that become part of the off-road experience. On the other hand, as a road rider coming into gravel bike riding, you're used to the drop bars, aren't you? You're used to the shifting, the braking, the positions on the bike. And so all that is going to be rather familiar for you, where, you know, the mountain biker, all of a sudden his bars got real narrow, they're shaped funny. Well, you're used to it. It's a road bike experience in a lot of ways. And so maybe for you, on the other hand, it is an advantage over the mountain biker. All right. I've talked long enough. Me and Dennis, we're going to pedal some more and I'll think of the next topic. There's a couple the local residents. Moo cows. No, they don't move. They don't move. I'm a funny guy. All right, Dennis, what do you think? You're both a mountain biker, more a mountain biker than a road rider, but you know how to road ride. What do you think? Is there an advantage to one or the other? Because you got a nice saw some Warbird gravel bike there.
Yeah, well, I started riding road bikes in 1975. I was a junior. But yeah, I've been riding mountain bikes for a long time, and then I got into cyclocross, and that's when I started to underbike.
Yeah.
And
sure.
to ride a lot of single track, and you know, sometimes I got in over my head. But with the modern gravel bike, I have to say it reminds me of the old first generation mountain bikes, you know, with the geometry and the capability. So I don't feel like there's, unless you get into something technical and start doing drop-offs and things like that, I don't see any real disadvantage.
Well, there you go. Little words of wisdom from a guy that he's done all kinds of stuff. He's raced, he's ridden, and actually Dennis has a very interesting history of people and places and experiences that I kind of covet a little bit, to tell you the truth. All right, us two old guys, we're going to keep pedaling uphill. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy our gravel bikes on a beautiful SoCal day. All right, there's the Ojai Valley. You see Lake Casitas out there. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I think I've ever seen it that full. Lots of water. Got Nordoff Ridge up there. Some mountain bike trails up there too. So let's talk about fitness. Is there a fitness quotient that we have to think about if you're either a mountain biker or a road rider? Well, on one hand, if you're a mountain biker, you're tuned to produce power at low RPMs, because lots of times mountain biking, you're coming around a corner, the trail just goes up, goes up, goes up, it goes down. It's a very dynamic experience. So gravel bike can be kind of like that, depending where you're riding it. And you know, you're used to shifting your weight and kind of making those little movements, watching your cadence and stuff to producing that kind of low end power. So that could be an advantage for you if you're coming from mountain biking. On the other hand, if you're a road rider, a lot of gravel riding is just sitting there spinning the cranks over and over and over and over and over without a whole lot of pause. Imagine things like Unbound, 200 miles of rolling dirt road. Well, if you're a mountain biker, that just might kill you, because that's not the mountain biking experience typically. But it's more of a road riding experience. You know, a little lower position, you're not so upright. So maybe your body is going to be better tuned to riding that kind of ride. But on the other hand, if you're a road rider, you're not used to being really, really bumped around, right? So your upper body isn't as developed as maybe a mountain biker's might be. So you might find yourself tiring faster, your grip tiring faster, your forearms, your triceps, all that, your shoulders pumping up much faster than maybe a more fit mountain biker who's tuned to upper body strength. Anyway, that's what I think about that. And I don't know, got to think of at least one more topic before we end this ride. Got to keep going. Woo, okay. Next topic. Maybe the last one, unless I get inspired somewhere else on this ride. And by the way, I'm out testing another 45 millimeter gravel bike tire. I've got the Specialized Pathfinder Pros and actually a 47. We'll see how that works out. All right, back to who is more suited to come to gravel biking, a mountain biker or a road rider. Now this topic, this is the gravel bike experience, right? Who is going to come into the gravel bike experience and maybe do better in that sense? Well, first of all, what is the gravel bike experience? Well, really, you're taking a road bike, putting a fat tire on it, and you're putting it in places you never really thought it would be great to ride a drop bar bike with no suspension. So let's think about this for a second. On the one hand, the mountain biker is going to be well suited to the rigors of off-road riding. Like I said, he's going to see this bike as maybe a challenge to go down this trail that maybe on his mountain bike he does. So he may see that as something really welcome and really fun. He's not necessarily scared of skittering and scattering and sliding and so on. So that for the mountain bikers is a plus. On the other hand, he may realize that what he just did is he's trying to ride a mountain bike without suspension, tiny tires, and crummy handlebars. And that might, for the mountain biker, be a really, really poor experience. He may actually find it just not to be fun. Case in point, good friend of mine, he's a mountain biker. He's also a road rider, but more a mountain biker. I said, dude, you would love a gravel bike. Man, you're going to love underbiking, I swear. It's fast, it's light, it's sleek, and then you can go off-road, and it's a little challenging, but that challenge is fun. He got a gravel bike. He hated it. I mean, he hated it. He sold it. I don't think he rode it more than a few times. And that, on the flip side of that argument, could be that a mountain biker would come into the gravel bike experience and think it really basically is a lousy excuse for a mountain bike. What about a road bike rider? Well, when he comes into gravel biking, he's already used to the drop bars, the narrow bars. He's used to the pedaling cadences and the differences in that you would have probably on a gravel bike, because it's really kind of a road bike, right? Experience, right? And so that could be really, really good. On the other hand, a road rider might find that he didn't realize how bumpy it was in the dirt, and that smooth flowing tarmac experience of just rolling down the miles, well, it's not exactly that on a gravel bike. And that might be enough to take a road rider and think, you know what? I like that smooth, fast experience that a road bike gives me, swoopy downhills with lots of traction. For me, the gravel bike just felt slow and bumpy and dirty and dusty, and well, it wasn't fun. On the other hand, though, a road rider might get on a gravel bike and it might go, it might open his horizons, open his eyes. It might be just like this explosion of like, oh, wow, I can take this bike that's still pretty darn good on the road. I can follow that dirt path. I can take the forest path that cuts out my little commute. I can go explore places on my road bike I couldn't, but a mountain bike seemed kind of pointless. So on the other hand, a road rider just might find the gravel bike experience to be perfectly fabulous. So those peaks out there that you see, that one, and that long one, that's out in the ocean. Those are islands. So the Pacific is just like right there. Yeah. Nice day. Buddy Dennis is getting his camera out. He's a New Mexico transplant. So I'm showing him some of the great rides in Southern California. And this, for gravel bikes, this is about as good as it gets, in my opinion. Well, that 10-mile climb is over. Whew! Lots of fun downhill from here. Hopefully it was fun and enjoyable for you guys. I'm curious to see what you think about where the advantages and disadvantages might lie. Where did you come from? Did you spring up brand new like a new shoot of grass in the springtime and just get on a gravel bike as your first bicycle? You might have. That would be interesting. But if you came from mountain biking, if you came from road riding, I'd like to know how it was for you. Did you try it and then go back because you hated it, or did you love it, and why? Anyway, if you have anything to add, I'd love to hear it. All right, buddy Dennis, he just rolled up to the gate. We'll leave you with a little music, a little road riding, because this paved downhill now, back down to the highway. Ooh, that's a loud gate. This paved road down to the highway is just to die for. It is an amazing descent. All right. We're going to catch our breath, and we're going to finish this ride. You guys take care. Have a great week and or weekend. And as always, go ride your bikes.